And the next thing that I'm really thinking about a lot is AI. The current state of AI is that I think nobody sees that platforms like X or YouTube, they'll be completely overrun by AI if the companies don't do something about it.
The problem with like any tool that becomes easily accessible, like that anybody can do it, you have to adapt and move on. Like people can try to do this like banning AI video stuff now. And I mean, I guess maybe I support it because it helps the industry transition, but you're going to have to learn to create content that either utilizes AI or competes against it and not assume that you're going to be protected from it, because it's just going to be another arms race with people trying to detect AI and then people using AI. And it's like, yeah, you just have to learn to integrate it or learn to outcompete it or something, or offer something that it doesn't have. Yeah.
All right. So I left my agency. I want to talk about why I left. And I want to talk about some of the general things that are happening in the influencer industry that you kind of never hear about because nobody from the industry actually talks about it. It's just people that are influencers, but you never kind of hear from people that work in it. And for the past 2 years I've worked in it, I ran an advertising company. So we worked for brands and we would take their budget and we would run it. We did big ads. Mostly by the end of it, we're working for mostly major companies. So there was some internal business issues and stuff about why I left, some disagreements with the co-founders. I probably won't end up talking about. We'll see, but it's not really important. The main thing is the theme of this video is this thing that I want to talk about a lot is soul. And I feel like I got into
the South Korean city
to the work of taking care of influencers because content creation is cool. And it's like the only place where you can message somebody so directly and they can receive it in a way that it's like it's not advertising exactly, although there's like a lot of sponsorship opportunities and things like that. But when you hear from an influencer, you're hearing something like more authentic than traditional media. I always thought that was really cool and that it could do a lot of good. But it feels like a lot of the influencer industry, if you want to make a lot of money these days, has kind of been hijacked at a high level by either cryptocurrency, by gambling money, or foreign wealth funds, which is also a problem in esports that I'll probably talk.
I thought we would be over the whole crypto scam thing by now, but we're not, are we? How many years is this stupid shit gonna last? Has there been a single legitimate crypto gaming project, or any crypto project besides like Ethereum and Bitcoin? It feels like every single fucking one is a scam. How does it still happen? And why don't I have one yet?
Talk about in this video a little bit. So the ad industry ends up being very hard to make money in. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of legitimate brands and there's a lot of people doing ads, but most of those people are running digital ads. Like they're running things on like AdWords or they're running stuff on Google. I was actually doing influencer sponsorships at a high level across like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, that kind of stuff. And for those kind of sponsorships, if you want the really high, well, if you want to make a lot of money, you've got to go into gambling. You've got to go into these people that have really what we call high LTVs, lifetime value of a customer. And unfortunately, it just feels like a lot of the industry has been captured by that, to the point where nowadays I don't feel like there's a lot of really interesting problems left in the influencer industry to solve. Whereas like when I got into it in 2021 or so, after I left esports, I felt like there was a lot of interesting problems, and I felt like there was a lot of connections that need to be made. But these days, like a lot of the deals are very standardized, and there's just not that much interesting stuff happening in it. And more importantly, I think there's so many other interesting things happening in the world right now, which I want to kind of talk about here as sort of a general overview. Probably like each of these topics deserves its own video, but just some cool things for everybody to kind of think about. The thing I've been thinking about constantly is content creation. And I'll talk about towards the end of this video.
Wait, is this going to mainly just be a random topic, or is it going to be related to all the recent stuff going on?
What I want to do in content creation. But at this point, I feel like I get asked all the time, can you still become a content creator? Like, oh, it's 2025. It's like there's this feeling that content creation is very saturated, that there's like too many viewers, or there's too many streamers, there's too many people making YouTube videos. There is, from a person who has run thousands of influencer deals over the last 4 or 5 years, there is way more viewers than...
What stuff? Just like the viewbotting stuff and the agency viewbotting streamers and all that. Like, I feel like it's a little bit of a juicy story, but I don't know how much, I guess like average viewers maybe would care, because it's mainly about like influencers and making money and how fucked the industry is.
There is, from a person who has run thousands of influencer deals over the last 4 or 5 years, there is way more viewers than creators. It's actually the best time to become a content creator ever. Like the platforms, the technology, everything is set up so much better than it ever has been. But more importantly, there are actually very few people that are consistently creating videos, consistently creating powerful writing, consistently tapping into art. I don't know why that is. I feel like we're in just a much, it's kind of the same in music. It's like the same kind of everywhere in entertainment. There's just not that many people that are consistently creating. Maybe it's a motivation thing or a cultural thing, but like, I know the perception is that there's like, oh, there's like way too many creators. I'm telling you, my agency and every other agency that I ever knew, we were desperate to find creators, to find consistent creators to sponsor. We just never had enough. There is so many more people willing to watch a video than there is to create one, and there's so many more people willing to watch like entertainment or consume entertainment. So much easier to do than to actually produce it. So content creation is really, really interesting to me still, and the influencer side of influencing, rather than like the industry side of influencing, is really interesting to me. It's something that's something that I really want to think about like a lot more. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But content creation is like a huge threat, and the next thing that I'm really thinking about a lot is AI. The most interesting thing about AI is that it has the largest potential to change the world. Like, for better or for worse, I'm not sure. The current state of AI is that I think nobody sees that platforms like X or YouTube, they'll be completely overrun by AI if the companies don't do something about it. We're already kind of seeing this. If you look at like YouTube Shorts, where like AI slop is just everywhere, it's going to get infinitely worse when things like VO3, basically commercial grade video, when you can produce video just like you can go to ChatGPT today and you can type a prompt and something happens. If you can do that for video, which should come in the next like 1 or 2 years, if you can do that, then I think there's going to be so many videos on YouTube, and just by pure quantity, that it'll be much harder to rank like legitimate creators. It'll be much harder to like distribute ads, so people make a lot less money and stuff like that. The counter to this is that YouTube is pretty aware of this. I've talked to Google a lot about this, and I think they're the most aware of it. They've already demonetized AI videos, and they're kind of in the process of like separating actual creator videos from videos that are AI generated. But it'll be hard to tell, right? Like at some point, really soon, a video like this will be indistinguishable from AI. Like you could plug me in to some kind of generator. You can kind of do this now. I've made some videos on this channel just showing this, and you can make
The problem with like any tool that becomes easily accessible, like that anybody can do it, you have to adapt and move on. Like people can try to do this like banning AI video stuff now, and I mean, I guess maybe I support it because it helps the industry transition, but you're going to have to learn to create content that either utilizes AI or competes against it, and not assume that you're going to be protected from it, because it's just going to be another arms race with people trying to detect AI and then people using AI, and it's like, yeah, you just have to learn to integrate it or learn to outcompete it or something, or offer something that it doesn't have. Yeah,
a person that's like pretty believably me, and then in like a year from now, like 2 years from now, which is like not that long, it'll be totally me, and there's no way to tell any different. If that happens, I don't even know how you tell the difference. Maybe there's like a metadata thing you can do. It's something I want to look into more, and like in the future of this channel we'll probably talk about it. But just the general idea that literally we're not going to know what's real is crazy. I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, it's going to be totally insane.
I thought that guy in chat was memeing. The PlayStation controllers don't come with USB cables? How desperate is Sony right now? Hello? What? I should have some. Hold on. I have a ton, actually. 1 second.
So I think I talked a lot about like content creation. Like still is like it's not under existential threat from AI yet. And ironically, like some platforms like live streaming, like Twitch and Kick and all those places, they'll survive a lot longer because it's much harder to duplicate a live stream from an AI perspective than it is to duplicate a VOD. Things like esports, which have like kind of niche value and things like that, will survive longer, and event-based stuff. Well, let's talk about esports actually. So esports is something that I left esports as a team owner in 2019 when CLG sold to Madison Square Garden. I was like looking at the industry very similar to how I'm looking at the industry today. It feels exactly the same. Like the way I'm looking at the ad industry today, it feels exactly the same as I was looking at esports in 2019, where it's like, okay, this whole thing is getting franchised, it's getting standardized, and I think what nobody wants to talk about, this is like probably a pretty hot take, but like I think from an industry standpoint, okay, from a, which I mean like the standpoint of like doing business in esports or having business be done in esports, it's like completely dead in North America and Europe. I understand there's still viewership, and I understand viewership overall in esports over the course of like 2023 to 2025 is increasing. The viewership is increasing. It's not decreasing. It feels like that in North America, but esports is an Asian thing. It's dominating. It's dominated in China. It's dominated in Korea. But the business model in America only makes sense if you have sovereign wealth money or you have gambling money, betting, basically, esports betting. And even Riot, which runs VCT, which runs League of Legends, Counter-Strike's run by Valve, but Riot runs most of the major esports. Even Riot was like, yeah, we're going to take on betting and gambling deals just recently after a long time of not doing it. Amazon has had a long history of like partnerships with DraftKings. There's just no way around it. I'm not making an ethical judgment necessarily on gambling in esports and gambling, like how prolific it is for influencer marketing. It's just sort of why it's just a big part of like why I'm not interested in continuously running a business here. I want the work I do to matter. I think that if you are working, you're going to spend your time working, like your very limited time on this earth, you should be trying to solve cool problems. And esports is another one of those places where, at least in North America and the US, and EU, it just makes no sense to be a team owner. It makes no sense to run a business there. The advertising revenue doesn't add up. The player salaries are way too high, and the interest is there. The niche interest is there, but the sort of soul of the sport and like the storylines has kind of been taken over by sports watching, sovereign wealth funds, mostly people with a lot of money.
I want to say that's true, but it could also just be a bias of me not following anymore. Bros, even though I hated League and I didn't even like watching pro games on League, I feel like, dude, this is such a boomer take. I'm booming so hard right now. But I feel like in all of esports, I almost feel like CLG and TSM were kind of some of the best things. They were, not to be racist, but they were English players that we could understand. They streamed with each other. They were friendships. They streamed to tons of people. When they were playing tournaments, it was exciting. Like, I feel like every individual person was kind of like a personality. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like that was some of the height of esports stuff right there. And then when like the Korean mercs started to show up. And then when it just became about winning, and then when the sponsorships got so high and everything became, I'm not going to say like making it professional is bad or that we need like racist jokes, but everything became like very kind of commercially, corporate-y. Yeah, I feel like our last good stab in that direction was Too Good? No. Yes. Too Mad was the black dude who killed himself. Too Good was the one that Gabe said was an ass, right? James, yeah.
Are willing to pay huge amounts to convert younger people to their platforms and or to their ideology, like move to Dubai or something or whatever, right? Like it's fine. Like it is what it is. It's just not interesting to me. I don't want to keep running ads for that kind of stuff. I want to do something more impactful, which I guess I'll get to in a second. So from 2012 to 2015, before I got into esports, I was doing a lot of live streaming. And esports will still live on in live streaming too, and will still do pretty well. And there's still some areas of esports that I love, like FGC. Like I still think that like Smash and fighting games like retain that feeling of the old OG League of Legends, like 2015 Madison Square Garden type feel. But I still think that's there. But live streaming in general, sure we'll talk about it on this channel a little bit more. Live streaming, I think most people don't understand my take on live streaming, because when I talk to people about it, they think that I think that Twitch is going to fail, and they think that I think that live streaming is going to fail. And I've never thought that. I've always just thought it should be so much more than it is. But at the very top level of live streaming, it's captured by toxic drama, politics. Like, do you remember, to some people that are really old on this channel, okay, just leave a comment if you're one of these older people that remembers this, that YouTube went through this phase of React, okay? People reacted to everything. There's still React videos out there, but it's not like every video. But reaction, like you pull up a video and you're like, this is what I think of that video, stuff like that. I do it, everybody does it. Twitch feels like it has never left that React phase that YouTube was in. Like YouTube got out of it, and now there's all kinds of stuff you can see on YouTube. There's documentaries, there's educational stuff, there's animated stuff, there's all kinds of stuff there's like talking head stuff like I do, all kinds of cool stuff that you can do on YouTube. But Twitch never left its React phase. Like if you're not a gamer, you're just reacting to stuff all day. So the meta at the top of live streaming, but on all websites, not just Twitch, is really boring. If you were to take a stream and you were like a 2025 stream of like one of the top 100 streamers, and you just transpose it against a stream that they did from 2020, if you didn't know the subject matter, like the subject matter wasn't current news, it would be the exact same stream, like webcam in the corner, same type of energy, same type of tonality, very, very little innovation in live streaming.
Remember the few streams Raynad did? You mean after he became schizo?
The AMP crew, Agent, the guy, Ludwig, like the guys that are running events and the guys that are usually at a huge loss to themselves, right? Because the economics of these events doesn't make sense. But when you look at the kind of things that those people put on speed, and where like you're traveling to different countries.
He is right in terms of like streaming not changing much. I blame Twitch partially for that though. Twitch like never gave any new products for streamers or never did anything new with streaming. Like I feel like none of the tech upgraded. We got like, what did Twitch do? The guest star. Like I feel like Twitch hasn't innovated at all on the product of streaming, and then YouTube just kind of followed along and just has like a larger platform and audience. So it's like, what the fuck are you gonna like? Nobody did anything. Kai though has done a lot of cool shit, and Speed for sure have definitely like upped the game.
Stream like webcam in the corner, same type of energy, same type of tonality, very, very little innovation in live streaming. When it could be so much more. When you look at some things like the very few innovators that are on the sites, like Kai Sanat, the AMP crew, Agent, the guy Ludwig, like the guys that are running events and the guys that are usually at a huge loss to themselves, right? Because the economics of these events doesn't make sense. But when you look at the kind of things that those people put on, Speed is another one, where like you're traveling to different countries, you're showing different cultures, or in Kai's case, you're doing like Streamer University, where you get together like hundreds of people, and then like you have classes and you have this whole like storyline. That's the potential that like, Ebai's another one of these people, the Spain Ebai, like that dude crushes. Like there are these people out there that are really pushing the entire genre of live streaming forward, but it's like not enough. it's just because and that's why like live streaming isn't really breaking into the mainstream, except for those things. Like you'll see Ebai run an event for like 6 million people, because that's where live streaming really excels, is like that I was here moment. And there's still that potential, but I feel like we're being held back by the platforms more than anything, because the platforms aren't willing to, like Twitch in particular is just not willing to say, hey, this is my identity. We're not okay with like politics. We want to like go back to like what people actually want to see, which is like either like really high level gaming content or like really interesting events and storylines and stuff like that. And since they're not,
even Call Me Carson is doing some cool shit with creating animated characters with Call Me Carson was the guy who got his career destroyed because he was flirting with a 17-year-old when he was 19, right? Am I remembering that story accurately?
willing to police that. As advertisers, we're not interested in like really investing in those platforms with all the toxic stuff that's going on in them. And so you just got to see these platforms stagnate when they really shouldn't. Like they should, like the medium of live streaming is so awesome. So I guess those are some general thoughts on like kind of what the industry is doing. We're proby going to have a separate video about every.
I'm sorry, that's not funny. His life got fucked hardcore from that, but
for those topics, because I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm doing next. And here that goes. So I have done esports. I've done service both as software and I've done high level work. I've built 2 big companies at this point, and I'm always trying to think about like where I make a difference in the world. And I've never felt like I've made a difference in the world like I have made in content creation. Like when I was making videos and when I was talking a lot. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've very rarely made videos because I was afraid. I felt like I needed to have some kind of authority to be able to justify like a lot of my positions. And so I work in the industry because I feel like I'm not enough to make videos. And so like I feel like I have to like build more legitimacy, build more authority, and then like, oh, people will like me more. But the truth is that no amount of authority will ever make haters happy. I understand that because recently Twitch has been going through like a view botting scandal. And when it comes to live streaming information and things about like the live streaming industry and the ad industry as it pertains to like direct sponsorships and influencers, there's probably like 50 people in the world, probably less than that. It might be 10 that know that as well as I do. Just that have run the hundreds of thousands of dollars of deals that are actually in it. And yet, like, no matter how much authority that I built on these topics and how much legitimacy I added by working with big companies and the people that are in the industry will always support me, which are the people that matter. But the haters bring you down, and like they'll tell you like, oh, like you're a scammer, you don't know what you're talking about, you know, your methodologies are bad, things like that. They're your guardians in content creation that are they want to keep you out of making things, and like I kind of let them win over the last like 2 or 3 years because I was like, okay, well, nobody really wants to hear from like an industry guy. It's like too boring, too niche, whatever. And I mostly stayed on Patreon that entire time, making videos about how to grow a business and doing self-improvement because that was where I could like build a community of people that were actually interested in stuff that I wanted to talk about. So I still did Patreon. Nowadays we're up to like 150 videos on Patreon. It's like it's insanely valuable. It's $5. And so there was a lot of people that stayed with me on that, and I always felt comfortable creating there. But in like YouTube and like Twitter, you have to like go out to the whole public. A lot of people who are not, no matter what your authority is, are just not going to accept what your position is. Either they have some kind of baked-in ideology, or they're just not about you. Like they just don't like who I am. Fine, right? But I feel like.
Are you still friends with Devin? I'm friendly with Devin. Nothing bad has happened. We just haven't talked in a while.
When I compare the amount of difference I was making when I consistently created videos, the messages I would get from people that are like, you know what, I decided to become a content creator, and now I'm here because you said X, Y, and Z, which is not true. They're there because of them. But if I was some small part of that, that's awesome. That felt so much better than being in the ad industry world, the ad tech world, and just like no one knowing anything about what I do, but like you'd see a big ad from a Fortune 500 or something, and I'd be like, yeah, I made that happen. But at the end of the day, what's that? Just like push more product or like, you know, push more money around to like huge companies. It just didn't. It's not wrong to do, and like obviously there's like a ton of people I've met in the agency world, and I respect you guys, and like it's just not for me anymore. Like it's just I think as dumb as it sounds, and it's like I'm losing out on a lot of potential money because content creation doesn't make any sort of money compared to what running businesses does. I just want to go back. I want to create again. I want to talk about things that are in the new media world, the social media world, the business world, and I feel like I have been waiting for like 2 or 3 years for an impartial, non-biased creator who's kind of data and analytical driven to explain issues in a way that sometimes, usually when I create a video, I do it because I'm so angry that there's nothing out there that's explaining it to the degree that I want it explained. Like, you can
Aw, now just take that same feeling and apply it to politics, and that's how I feel.
get like sort of updates on what's happening, but to understand the issue at like a technical level is there's not really a lot of people doing that. And so I was like, man, I kept waiting for this. It just didn't happen. There's very few people from the actual industry that will talk about this stuff because often they're either A, making so much money they don't care, or B, there's actually a brand risk of them doing so, which is another reason I didn't create a lot, was because like if I'm working for a Fortune 500 or something and I post something insane on X, I'm representing that brand literally on their advertising. I can get my contract canceled or all kinds of things that you kind of see all the time happens in like larger organizations. So I feel like going back and really giving an honest like 6-8 months, maybe a year to just creating and making things. Talking a lot, writing a lot. Like probably the 2 platforms I'll spend the most time on are X and Twitter, where I really think there's a lot of criticism about X and Twitter that's all deserved, but it's also a place where like a lot of people are listening. And so I really want to create there. I've been creating there on twitter.com/Devin Nash. And also I'll do YouTube. Obviously, that's why I'm here. If you like my stuff and you want to see more videos from me, I don't know how many of those people that you are. Maybe you can tell me. We'll do a secret call out 1930. Okay, if you're still here at a Devin Nash video 1930, leave a comment and let me know. Okay. But if you guys want me to make more videos, then this is like probably the best update for you because I'm gonna make more videos. and luckily I'm in a position where I don't really care about viewership that much. I'm not gonna go to be a huge channel. Just want to talk about things that are interesting and write about them. And I'll do a little bit of live streaming too, like maybe 2 or 3 times a week going forward. And I mean I'm gonna be like really investing into the Patreon, patreon.com/Devin Nash. That is like the primary way you can support me if you want these videos to happen. That will be my only source of income going forward for a while, which is fine. I'm doing like just fine. Don't need anything. But that's $5 for 150 videos, 30 minutes long each. They're not anywhere else, and they're all about like how I grow businesses, self-improvement type of stuff, like deep industry topics and things like that. That's a good Patreon. If you want to be a part of that, go check that out. I'm doing consulting too. I'm reopening that because I didn't have time, and I really like that. There's a link in the description of the consulting, but like I really like that idea of just like sitting with someone and doing a deep dive into their business and improving it. So I want to do more of that. Again, that's that sort of like direct touch stuff that I'm looking more to do rather than this kind of like back in the shadows ad stuff. So if you didn't get, there was like dozens of people that would message me for consulting that I'd never had time for at Dovo, and if you want that, I'd be happy to do it. But eventually I'll get into product. So like at some point I want to build a product. I'm between that being like some kind of info product where like I really put together some of my best information about how to grow a broadcast or how to get good sales leads or like how I built the sales structure at Nova, like something like that I might sell for like a couple $100. That's option 1. Option 2 is like I really want to get into green tea. That's a huge passion of mine. I drink green tea every single day. And so
Don't ever trust tea drinkers. They're always weird people.
I would really
Just kidding.
love to sell that. So
50% kidding.
like, it's something I've never, I just want to go, the next thing I want to do, I'm still gonna say in the business world, I can't get out. I'm not just gonna become a content creator. I will for a while, like maybe the next year or so, and people will probably forget that I said this, but eventually I'm gonna go back into product because I'm just too, I love business too much. So I will do something in product, and hopefully it'll be like something like in the health area, green tea, where I can like feel like I'm selling something that people are getting a direct benefit from. It's like improving their life in some way. But yeah, I think I'm done with the agency world. I'm still gonna do a couple of deals here and there, but I want to keep searching for the soul. I want to keep searching for like where the difference can be made. I read most of the comments that people post about me, and so if you are still here after all of these years, or you're just hearing about this video, maybe it's the first time it's showing up on your feed, and you're like, hey, like I want an industry guy that's been in the business that talks about technical, boring issues for 45 minutes to make more videos, then like that's awesome. Thank you so much for you never need to financially support me or do anything but watch the stuff and maybe leave a comment that says like, yeah, like hey, still here, or I'm new here, and I just appreciate it. It makes a big difference. I'm definitely not immune to like a lot of the just like criticism and stuff, and I'm gonna try really hard not to let it hold me back anymore. As much as it has been when I was kind of behind in the ad scenes, but the people that post the comments that are supporting me really matter a lot. So
Aww.
I'm gonna create more for you guys. I'm just gonna be out there just annoying people and talking. So follow this channel and also follow the Twitter. That'll probably be where I spend most of the time. Also, I'm 24/7 on Discord. I have been for years. So discord.gg/Devin. All the links are down in the description. But if you want to come and hang out in the Discord, Discord's free, and there's basically a chat. You just get a hold of me like pretty much right away. So thank you everybody for watching this video. I hope it was good, and I'll see you guys again for the next one. There's a lot of exciting things to talk about, so I'll probably go right into writing after this. All right, see ya. Bye.
Cute.